It's been a busy day for fire crews in northern Colorado. Two wildfires broke out in the early morning hours, one in Boulder, a second in Berthoud. Both are now 100% contained and all evacuation orders have been lifted. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sam Shocker. We start with the fire that burned near Berthoud. It sparked near Carter Lake, and mandatory evacuations were ordered just before 7 a.m. But it is now all contained and in the mop-up stage. Here's 9 News reporter Amanda Gilbert with more.
I'm right next to Carter Lake, and there were a few fire trucks out here this morning, but I watched them leave about an hour ago, and for a while they've just been focused on mop-up. But let's take a look at earlier this morning. The Larimer County Sheriff's Office says this fire started around 6 and it spread 3.5 acres. There were both mandatory and voluntary evacuations, but again, those have all been lifted and cleared. The cause of this fire is still under investigation, but again, no injuries, no structures impacted at this time. So everyone that had a crazy morning is slowly kind of returning back to their normal, returning back to their homes. Reporting in Larimer County, Amanda Gilbert, 9 News.
Amanda, thank you. The Goat Trail fires started near Hawthorne Avenue and 4th Street in Boulder around 3:30 this morning. Crews were able to stop it from growing about 3 hours later, and by just after 9, it was 100% contained and all evacuation warnings were lifted. It was kept to just under 2 acres inside. Well, let's get some additional perspective now and our forecast from our senior meteorologist, Chris Bianchi. Hey, Chris, happy Wednesday.
Yeah, happy Wednesday. And you may have noticed within some of those Sky 9 visuals that we had a lot of brown grass there. And so once we get the annual green up to take place, that'll start up probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And once those grasses get a bit more vegetation, that wildfire risk will be mitigated for at least a few weeks' time while we have the annual green up. Hopefully we get some beneficial moisture in later this month and into May, and that hopefully will keep those grasses more on the greener side and allow them to retain more moisture and stave off some of those wildfires. But that's why we're seeing a little notable uptick in fires over the last few weeks. Burlington, things looking quiet out here on the eastern plains, and in Denver, we're already near 70 degrees across the majority of the metro area. Still a fair bit of high-level cloud cover. Some good news, and this probably helped out those firefighters. We've got a little bit of wind, but it's really not that bad. Mostly under 20-mile-an-hour winds, and you get into the mountains above 9,000 feet, and that's where we're seeing some occasional 40 to 50-mile-an-hour gusts here today. Temperatures 60s, 70s, even some low 80s on the eastern plains. 50s and 60s in the mountains. We do have a weak cold front dropping through the northeastern corner of the state, and that is why temperatures down to the 50s out that way. Satellite radar, storm system well off to our north, and the storm track has been off to our north basically all winter long. That continues here on this April the 8th, and those clouds still a little bit gusty for us, still a little bit cloudy for us here. There's some high-level cloud cover over the Denver area. We'll see those clouds and a chance for a brief gusty shower between 3 and 7 p.m., and those temperatures will drop back tonight. But I'll have details on those chances for a storm and a better chance for rain next week. More on that in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris, thank you. Considering today's wildfires, we want to give you a heads up. There will be smoke coming from the Rocky Mountain Arsenal area. A prescribed burn is happening today. They want to take advantage of extra moisture in that area to get rid of extra vegetation while they have the chance. They say if you do see smoke from the Arsenal, there's no need to call 911. And firefighting planes will also drop water near Lyons today as part of pilot training. A couple single-engine air tankers will drop water near Coffin Top Mountain, west of town. Officials say people can expect to see those planes flying around as long as the weather allows. Denver police say the man an officer shot yesterday has died from his injuries. Denver police say they received a call about a man with a gun near Quitman and Perry right around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Residents in that area were told to stay in their homes. Police say the man hid in an alley and did not comply with demands to drop his weapon. Officers say he eventually came out, moved towards them, and pointed his gun. The department says that led an officer to shoot multiple times. Chief Ron Thomas says the incident may have stemmed from a domestic issue.
There were family members that I think were engaged with him prior to this incident starting, so they may be able to share or shed light on exactly what happened, leading up to the incident where he produced that weapon.
And while the investigation continues, we're still waiting to hear what will happen to the officer involved. The preliminary results from a special election held in Lakewood yesterday show voters will overturn city council decisions to allow more multifamily housing throughout the city. The city overhauled Lakewood zoning ordinance in 4 parts, so voters were asked 4 questions. Question 1 was about parking rules and building standards. 2 about what can be built where. 3 asked if multifamily housing should no longer be allowed everywhere. And 4 was about the new zoning map. The results from about 24,000 voters showed they answered yes to all of them, meaning they want to do away with all of the changes that allowed for more multifamily housing. The results will be certified next week. A bill aimed at protecting the money made by so-called kidfluencers is headed to the governor's desk. It's modeled after a California law mandating 15% of a minor's earnings go in a trust that they can access when they turn 18. The bill also calls to require parents to set aside earnings for a child if the creator makes at least $40,000 a year on content and the child appears in 30% or more of monetized content.
It's really narrowly targeted at people who are doing social media professionally, where the child is playing a really prominent role in the reason why they're making money.
The bill had wide support from about 90% of the state legislature.